Hey everyone, this is your host Joseph and your secondary host,
It's me, Uncle Poe.
Uncle Poe. And today's a very different episode because it's extra long, number one. But the topic we're talking about is it's different. The last two were more. Well, I guess all of our episodes we're trying to be educational. We want to share stories, experiences, and just interesting things that we find amusing, entertaining with y'all. But today we're getting personal. We are taking a deep dive into folklore. You'll see how the episode goes. We started with the animal folklore, and it took a turn to talking about Native American folklore, to be more precise, and experiences we've had, our family members have had. We have a special guest on this episode, my aunt,
Oh,
to
dude,
share one of her
I
experiences.
forgot your Thea jumped on here.
Yeah, she did. Your sister, yeah.
Oh,
So
also, put a disclaimer right at the top. If you have little kids in the car or listening to this podcast, you might want to let them not listen to this one.
yeah,
It
I
does get
wouldn't
a little
advise you.
spooky.
It does, and kids are very sensitive. So right at the front, I wouldn't recommend any parent show their kids this episode. Honestly, like I don't think that's wise.
As a
But
as like to parents, no, but to an uncle or a Thea, I say do it.
yes, yes, if your nephew or niece is with you and they're spending the night, or you want to be the cool aunt and let them have things they can't have at home, put this episode on and scare them straight. So then when they go home and they have a nightmare, their parents can call you mad.
And before you
Uh,
send them home, make sure you give them candy and soda so they cannot fall asleep. That is Uncle Tip from Uncle Poe.
you just screw them over twice, huh?
Yep.
Like you want to go to sleep to escape the the fear, but you can't.
Yeah, they're gonna be so wigging out that they would not be able to sleep. And when they finally do sleep, it's gonna be late for the parents, and then
Gosh,
they're gonna have nightmares and keep the parents up. So it's a double
that's
whammy.
diabolical. That's
That's
diabolical,
the
but I
that's
love the
the
way you
Uncle Poe
think.
special.
I can't wait to do that to Jolene's kids. Um, yeah, so disclaimer, because I'll be honest, I got a little heebie-jeebied at one point, and I was like, you know what? That's how I know it's gonna heebie-jeebie someone else because I grew up around this stuff. I heard it my whole life. I've experienced things like this. So for me, it's kind of more of a normal thing to hear about. So for someone who hasn't, I could only imagine the sort of feelings it could arouse in you, especially if you're listening to this at night in your bed alone.
Okay, but also too, just not to scare you off, we do talk about some Navajo folklore that's normally taboo to talk about. So
Oh yeah.
if you're gonna listen to it, don't listen to it on the res while whistling at night.
Yes. Oh, definitely don't do that. And because you won't hear a lot about this because it is very taboo to talk about it on the Navajo land. So you're only ever going to hear it through an online, um, avenue. But yeah, we hope you enjoy this episode because it is educational. You are going to learn. Um, and I have a feeling you're going to have a lot of questions. But that's okay because I think even me and my uncle have a lot of questions about these things that we don't have answers to.
we
And that's fine.
we only scratched the surface on some of the stories, and apparently our family has a well of stories, as you can hear from just some of the stories we tell that happened to us in the early 90s. You can only imagine
Yeah,
what
late
happened in the
90s were peak.
2000s and then the 20s, the teens.
Oh, yeah. Yes. I don't know. Is it just me or is it like people have this perception that all the scary stuff happened in the 1900s and like now that's the 2000s or in the modern age, scary things don't exist no more.
No, because
No, that's just me.
yeah, I think it's just you because
Okay.
now there's a lot of fake news out there, man. With AI, you can make AI pretty much do anything, so it's hard to see evidence. Because before
Yeah.
you would say, like, let me see, you have video of it, you have pictures, like, yeah, I
It's
do, and then
like a
now,
grainy 240
yeah,
like, FPS kind of thing.
like the Patterson film, like Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Now we
Yeah.
could just we use AI and make it seem like Forrest Gump is running with Bigfoot in the forest.
Yeah, or those wiggly weird aliens at that Florida mall.
Yeah, that one I'm not so sure about, dude. But
I still don't know what to think of that.
I think that's for our alien episode one. We should get into that.
Yeah, because that is a whole rabbit trail. Like, there's like it's weird because like you look at it and you're like, oh, that's obviously fake. And then you dig into it and you're like, is it?
Yeah, because when you start talking space, like it reminds me of a cool movie. You ever seen that movie Starship Troopers?
I've not.
This is the digestible podcast, an easy conversation to consume. You are listening to the digestible podcast, and Joseph is your host, and sometimes he has a guest. Do 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 do.
It's about bugs.
Wait,
So,
wait. Hold on. Don't you have a game on that?
no, it's similar. It's
Okay.
just like Starship Troopers, and it is, Hell Divers.
How
It's similar
diverse.
to just like Starship Troopers,
Okay.
because in that whole story of Starship Troopers, we have a space force, basically like what we're making now in the United States. We're
Yeah.
making a space force. So they have giant ships, and they have like propaganda fighting against bugs, and these are like giant, a mix between a spider, like a rhino beetle, and
Okay.
like the Pokemon Scyther, like a praying mantis.
Yes.
So it's a mix between all those, and they're huge. They stand about like 2 meters tall, or like over 6 feet for us Americans. I don't know why I went meters. That was weird. I never took talking meters.
He's like, he was half a kilometer high.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know why I said meters. I'm like, I never use meters as reference. I use freedom heights. And yeah, so he's that's over 6 feet tall, maybe like 8 feet. Huge creature.
Okay.
And there's all kinds of different variation of bugs, but the whole movie is a high school kid named Johnny Rico,
Johnny Rico.
and they're from Porto Aires, somewhere in South America, and they're in high school, and they're all thinking about their future and what they want to do.
Okay.
Yeah, so they decide they're gonna join the military, and his friend Doogie Howser, um,
I know that
he,
name.
yeah, it's Neil Diamond Phillips.
Neil Diamond Phillips, Noogie Howser. Okay.
Not Neil Diamond Phillips. I think I messed up the name. You see.
Let me see. I'm
Yeah,
not.
no, it's not Neil Diamond.
I'm not saying the Doogie Howser here in the cast.
No, no, that's the doctor he plays. What is his name? How I Met Your Mother. He's in that. His
Hmm.
name is Barney on How I Met Your Mother. Oh man, I feel so dumb. Right? Neil Patrick Harris.
Oh,
That's his
okay.
name.
Okay.
Yeah, Neil Patrick. I called him Neil Diamond. I knew it was Neil though. Neil Diamond's like a singer, right?
I don't know who Neil Diamond is.
Yeah, Neil Diamond's a singer.
I don't know any Neils. Oh, is this the guy that played Scrooge? Or
Neil
no,
Diamond?
no, that one creepy dude with like the black leather suit and pinstripes with the cul-de-sac.
No,
No.
no, I don't know who you're talking about. No, but Neil Patrick Harris, he's in it, and he's a psychic in the game,
Oh,
the movie, and so he's best friends with Johnny Rico, and
okay.
he has a girlfriend named Carmen, and both um Neil Patrick Harris and his girlfriend are like smarter than he is. He's just a football player, and they take the intelligence test to find out where they're gonna land. So his friend goes into special operations, like intelligence,
Okay.
and his girlfriend Carmen goes into being the pilot program. So he goes up to find out what his test score is, and he gets sent as a grunt,
So is he dumb?
infantry. Yeah, he's not that bright.
Okay.
He's a football player.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he goes infantry.
Okay.
Yeah, and then his girlfriend breaks up with him basically.
That's jacked up.
Um, yeah, so he's like, we're drifting apart. We're on our own paths. Well, she's flirting with the ex. So he's a quarterback in high school,
Okay.
and he has a rival, and there's like the other rival quarterback is supposed to be really good, and he beats him in the beginning of the movie. He beats his rival, and he gets the girl, and he's like, king of high school. Then he joins the military, and turns out his rival is actually his girlfriend, Carmen, is co-pilot, and
Okay.
his name was Xander.
Xander. Okay, so the rival's name is Xander.
Yeah, Johnny
And
Rico's rival
okay.
was Xander.
And Xander's girlfriend is his co-pilot.
No, no, Johnny Rico's girlfriend is his co-pilot.
Oh,
But they break up, and they're flirting on top, like when they're flying the ship, and she says that they're supposed to follow this flight path, but she decided that she found a faster route. So she put in the navigations, and she moved the ship out of its safe flight route to
okay.
save time. So they're flying and they're flirting, and then a giant meteor comes out of nowhere. Like they weren't paying attention. It's a giant rock in space, and it
Okay.
comes out of nowhere apparently.
Wait. Yeah, wait. Hold on. Yeah. How do you
Yeah,
not? Okay.
yeah. So it comes out of nowhere. They're in space, giant vacuum, nothing around them for like light years, and out of nowhere, a giant rock come flying at them.
Very believable.
So yeah, so she programmed it. She changed the path. They do a special maneuver. They drop down and go under it. Well, when they go under it, they actually clip the meteor. And when they clip the meteor, it kind of takes part of the ship, like part of the top of the ship, and they do a little bit of damage, but it moves the trajectory of that meteor. So
Hmm.
back to Johnny.
Okay.
He's
Okay.
an infantry, and they don't talk about his buddy no more, Neil Patrick Harris. He's special training. But Johnny Rico's going to boot camp and a lot of training, and it's a pretty good movie. And he's part of a group, and his history teacher turns out to be his commanding officer.
Okay. This is a very small world.
Yeah, so basically everyone he knows is somebody in the military.
Yeah.
It's like they didn't have enough people in the movie to cast.
Gosh.
Yeah, but it's still pretty good, man. And he gets promoted, and his captain, um, his buddy, one of the guys get captured, get stung by a giant flying beetle. So they go into other planets to liberate them and fight bugs. So they'll go to a base, set up a base there, and then they'll fight bugs and try to make a little stronghold for humans.
So is the Earth
Well,
overrun by insects like these alien
no,
ones?
we're sending freedom to those planets. So we're
Oh. So we're
yeah, they don't
just
say it, but I'm
yeah,
pretty sure there's resources there that we want.
obviously.
Yeah, just like what the whole reason we would be making the Space Force.
Globalism. Yeah.
Hmm.
There's oil in the moon.
Yeah, so basically, that's what's happening in the whole movie. They're fighting bugs, and they just start on basic training. They're like going around doing training, and all of a sudden they get a video. Um, the Earth was attacked by bugs that they're sending meteors to Earth,
Okay.
and they show the hometown where it hit, and it was his hometown. His whole family, all his friends that stood
Wow.
behind are gone. They're all
What
dead.
a coincidence.
Yeah, and there's a theory online that Carmen, his ex-girlfriend, was the one that caused that whole meteor to fly out of its trajectory and aim towards Earth because she changed the path of the flight.
Oh, so you have the butterfly effect. So it's like oh gosh, what's that one Goldblum movie? The Fly. How
Yeah,
like that a small outlier in the not the matrix, but in the equation of the way it was supposed to
Mm-hmm.
go causes the whole thing to go completely south.
Yep. But that's what everyone believes, that she's the reason why that meteor came. So the bugs didn't even attack Earth, but Earth got pumped up and sent more people, and they're trying to fight at their home planet. So he ends up rising in the ranks. He turns out to be a good soldier and starts making his way up. And his captain um he got killed in battle, and he told him to shoot him. He says he would do that to any of his rangers if they get injured,
Yeah.
not to suffer. And he does it to one of his soldiers who gets captured, and he ends up popping him. He's like, I would
Wow.
want you guys to do the same for me. And so he does that to his captain,
What is
and they
is the
get
is the
free.
is the captain Mr.
The
Krabs?
history teacher.
The history
No,
teacher. Okay.
Mr. Krabs is back in boot camp.
Oh, he's
Mr. Krabs, he was their drill instructor.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Then he has there's a bunch of people. There's Dizzy Flores, there's Ace, and a couple other people that in boot camp with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy Jake Bolsey, that name does not sound familiar at all, but he's been in a
Okay.
bunch of different movies, and he's like a white boy with big teeth.
Okay. Let me see. Let me see here.
Yeah, he was
He is in a lot of movies.
Ace Levy. Yeah,
A lot of these movies I've never even heard of. Almost all of them I've never heard of.
yeah, he was big in the 80s and 90s, and then kind of he kind of peaked. And that was it.
Gotcha.
But yeah, he was in the movie. So basically, they end up going to the home world of the bug planet,
Okay.
and this is a couple years now, and now he's in the lead. He's in charge of the Roughnecks. That's the name of the group. So they call them Rico's Roughnecks.
Hmm. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, but anytime they hear news on the news report, so when the meteor fell to Earth, they would tell a news article and they would start explaining the story, and then at the very end it says, "Would you like to learn more? Would you like to know
Oh,
more?"
so there's
And
the
then
plug.
yeah, that's where it came from.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, but that's where that came from, and that whole little tangent is our space news. Oh, actually, that's not really our space news. Our
What's our
space
space
news
news?
is: did you hear about the astronauts coming back?
I did not.
There was actually 4 astronauts that came back from the ISS space station.
Okay, what were they doing up there?
They were supposed to be up there for a couple more months, but all of a sudden, doing air quotes with my fingers, that's like bunny ears,
Okay.
the audio listeners.
Okay, so
Um,
conspiracy nugget right here.
hmm
Okay.
Someone got sick or injured on the space station, and they didn't have the right facilities for them to be worked on or get medical attention. So they had to cut their traveling short
Okay.
and fly back down a couple months sooner. That's the story that's being told to us.
What what do you suspect then? Because I'm assuming you have an alternative theory.
This is our aluminum foil hat kind of
Okay,
episode.
put the aluminum foil hat on.
Yeah.
All right, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Hit me with the
All right.
theory.
Okay. My theory is we pulled our astronauts out of space because we don't want them being used as hostages.
Uh, That was nothing like I was expecting. What do you mean?
Because the world is getting crazy right now, and Trump wants to take Greenland. And you hear about the 15 troops being sent to Greenland.
Yeah, I heard that NATO had sent
15 troops.
was it only 15 NATO sent?
Mm-hmm. United Kingdoms, they sent 1. Germany, I think they sent 2. France sent 3 people.
What a
3
force to
troops.
be reckoned with.
Yeah, 15 troops. So they're moving, man. They're
They're
America
mobilizing.
just yeah. I think America's playing it safe, and they're pulling people off the space station, so they wouldn't be held as hostages up there.
You know what
Because a rocket to the space station is pretty easy to do.
that tracks. You could get there overnight. Not even. You could get there in a few hours if you had the resources. But
But that's my crazy theory that might be based in reality. But you know,
that's just a theory. So this entire episode is going to be, I guess you can say, our tinfoil theory episode.
This is tinfoil theory time.
no, there's some there. Not every story is not
That's
true.
true. That's true. I
So
take that back.
some folklore is actually there's truth.
Yes. So I would say this is our, because what's like if we're dealing with the spectrum of like, okay, this constitutes a tinfoil level story or tale or whatever, what would be the one right beneath it? Like, Queen Elizabeth being a reptilian, that's like tinfoil level. Then you have like Bigfoot, which I think is maybe not as much a tinfoil because there's actual like history that spans hundreds of years of human civilization with this. So I think that would be more credible than saying the Queen of England was a reptile alien. You get what I'm
Well, yes,
saying?
she was, but she was.
She was, but she lasted a
Are,
long
are
time.
we not stating that from the beginning that she was a reptilian?
I didn't want to profile her.
You know what? Basically, this episode is cryptozoology.
Yes. That's exactly the word for it.
Yeah. So there's truth in some cryptids, and other cryptids there's just like there's no way.
Via pure fiction. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a lion with the face of a woman with the body of a monkey and the tail of a snake.
Yeah. That like the mermaid kind of fake one they
Yeah.
found where they sewed a monkey onto a fish.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later because I don't know what that is.
Oh, okay. Well, I also have an actual story. It's a folklore, from California, from just a little spot. I never heard it anywhere else. Only in Needles, California. Right, that's the tri-state
Only
area
in
between
Needles.
California, Nevada, and Arizona.
Yeah, it is.
So right on the river, there's a little tribe called the Aha Makav,
Yes.
and they have a story. I'm not sure if it's just the people in Needles have a story or if it's the Native Americans have a story. But I was told this story when I was there,
Okay.
and they called him. You ready for it?
Yeah, yeah.
The Hoof Man.
Oh, I vaguely remember you telling me about this.
Yes. So this story is the Hoof Man, and this cryptid is supposedly the body of a horse, but with the
Okay.
torso of a man, but the head of a bull.
So a centaur minotaur hybrid?
It's a mentor, mentor.
It's a centaur.
Minotaur centaur.
Okay.
Yeah. And they told me when I was there. I'm gonna put a little like grain of salt. I was 13 to 15 when I heard in that range when I heard this story,
Okay.
and I'm turning 38, so that's over 18 years ago. No, that's bad math, right?
Who cares?
Yeah, I was a teenager, and this is over like 20 years ago.
Okay.
They said if you're out there in the middle of the I was gonna say the woods, but it's desert.
Yeah.
If you're in the middle of the desert and it's dark and you're on any of these dirt roads that go nowhere, you would hear the
The footfall?
the fall of like a hoof hitting the ground, like,
Okay.
but you would hear four of them.
Yeah. Like a
horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they said it would chase after your car, and it would have glowing red eyes, and it would chase cars down dirt roads.
Oh. Wait. So how old is this? Is there more to the story, or is that just what you remember?
That's what I remember. And they said it happens on those dirt roads that run along the river. There's a lot of back roads and like
Yeah.
off-roading roads.
That's the Colorado and the Little Colorado, right?
Well, it's the Colorado, the main
Yeah.
Colorado River.
The main okay.
Yeah, so there's like a train track that goes by there, and there's a lot of dirt roads. So I was on those dirt roads one night, riding ATCs. These are like 3-wheeled, so basically a tricycle, but it's like a quad, but only 3 wheels.
Yeah.
So we're riding back there in the middle of like the dark, and dusk already happened, and we had headlights that just shoot light in front of you while
Yeah.
we're riding, and I'm going like cruising along, maybe like 20 something miles an hour, just having fun. And I look to my left and I see something humanoid shape
Oh gosh.
running on all fours, skin colored and bald,
Oh man.
running next to me.
How old were you?
And I told you, like between 15 and 17 in that range.
Gosh.
And I remember just looking up. I had a helmet on, so like my view was like kind of narrowed.
Yeah.
But I caught some movement on the side of my eye. I look over, look at it, and then I just hit the gas as hard as I could. And I hit every single bump, but I was like so pumped up on adrenaline and fear. I didn't hit. I just held the gas down. And I flew by my friend, and then he took off going fast after me because he was like, "What the
Oh.
heck? Like, why did he just burn out?"
Yeah.
And I was hitting every bump, and I was like, it's just hanging on,
Oh,
and I gunned
man.
it till I got to some kind of light.
It's
and I
needles,
turned
right?
around- Yeah, and needles. And so
Gosh.
we made it to there was a store called Bash's. If you're from Arizona, you know Bash's.
Yeah.
We stopped at the Bash's parking lot up on top of the hill. It's no longer there. That Bash's is closed down, but on top of that hill, there was like lamps for the parking area. We stopped up there, and my friend's like, "What happened?" And I said, "You didn't see that thing running next to me?" And he's like, "Ooh, no." And I was like, "Yeah, it looked like the size of
Golem from Lord of the Rings?
yeah, it looked similar to a golem, but taller, like maybe 5 feet."
What else did you see? Like, were his fingers really long, or like you just caught more like a peripheral kind of?
No, I caught a peripheral and I looked at it.
Oh,
but
so you
I
had
only looked. I turned my head, but I was told you I was driving a quad, and the light in front, you could only see that.
Yeah.
So I can only see the front part of it, like its torso, head, and arms, like move, like running next to me, or like running on all fours. And then I just did a quick left, look back, and I was like about to do a double take, but I freaked out.
Oh man.
So if I'm looking straight, left, right, straight.
Yeah.
That's how quick of a look I did, and then I was out of there.
Oh gosh. What did you do after? Did you see it again?
Oh, dude, we went home. I said, I am not going out here again at night. And I did not go back to that spot.
What do you think it was? Because that's the. Remind me of the name of the Ahavi movie or whatever.
The Aha Makaf.
Aha Macabre. Okay. So I'm assuming that's like a small California tribe. The kind of like the what's that
So-
one tribe?
It's the Avi. So if you know the Avi Casino in Laughlin, Nevada, it's
Okay.
the tribe that owns that.
Okay.
Let me see. Yeah, the Fort Mojave Indian tribe. But my friend that was there, big old Indian dude, his Native American. His name was Morgan.
Morgan.
Yeah, his fist, dude, like his fist, were about as wide as a 2-liter.
Whoa.
Yeah, like if you flipped a 2-liter on its like on if you're looking at the bottom of it,
Yeah.
his fist was bigger than that.
Whoa.
Yeah, he had some big old mitts, dude.
Okay.
He's
So,
a big old Indian dude, and he said they that was the tribe that owned the Avi, and that was right there on the river.
oh, okay. So the Hoofman is the Ahav Macabre, whatever they're
Well,
called.
you know what? I think that's it. I'm just right when I'm looking up. I'm just seeing Fort Mojave Indian
Yeah.
tribe. That's all it's saying.
Well, that's probably like
But-
their American register name.
You know, kind of like how the Navajo and they call themselves the Dene.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe.
I think so.
I
So
don't know.
so I guess my point was, are there stories of a golem thing? Because instantly my mind goes to Skinwalker, but that's a Navajo thing. That's
And a Hopi.
Is it actually a Hopi thing too?
Yep. And I think Apache.
Well, I guess so. It makes sense. 'Cause I guess I seen one on the Hopi res. But we'll get to that later because I'm so interested about. Have you seen it since?
No. No, I did not.
So
But
what?
your Thea actually seen something um similar to, I want to say, the Mothman
Really?
in Needles too.
Oh, I think I know what we're talking about. Is it the one where she's seen it like in the street light, whatever?
It was on the roof of a
Yeah.
building across the street.
Yeah. Go ahead and I don't know the details of that one. Go ahead.
Well, I wasn't there, so this is like what I've heard after, because we were bad kids. We were up drinking,
Yeah.
and I used to drink to excess, and I won. I outdrunk everybody, and so I went to sleep early. Air quotes
Okay.
sleep. So I went to sleep, and my friend Nando and Christina, my sister, they were the last two up, and they're outside on the porch just drinking and thinking, and they seen something fly up into the sky and land on the roof. And my sister seen it first, and Nando didn't see it. He was just like, "What?" She's like, "You see that over there?" He's like, "Where?" And we look across the street. They look across the street, and she said it was like a mix between a bat and like a kind of like man bat
Yeah.
on Batman.
Batman. Yeah.
Yeah, and she said it was on top of the roof, like crawling around, not looking at him, and then it jumped up into the air again. So she picked him up, and they went inside. They didn't want to stay outside and look at it anymore.
Oh man. So then I guess the,
She
the
know
obvious.
she
Do
knows more in the story. Like,
do you think I should grab my Thea real quick and have her tell it?
yeah, let's see if she does, because I'm telling stories from what I remember when, like over 20 years ago, and I wasn't there. So
Okay. I'm gonna go grab her. Okay, so I have the individual that this encounter happened to, and I'm just gonna let you interview her. I am gonna step aside, and I'm gonna turn the mic to her, and she's gonna tell us exactly what happened. But first, you go ahead and introduce it to her. Okay, I'm gonna push the mic to her right now, and I'm giving her the headset.
hey, Christina, I'm Uncle Poe. Nice to meet you.
Oh, nice to meet you.
So Christina,
What?
thank you for joining our podcast.
Oh, yeah.
So this episode we are talking about cryptids, and I was telling them the story of the hoof man out in Needles and how I seen like a little creature running next to me on ATVs. And I was saying you also seen something on the rooftops
Yeah.
out there,
Mm-hmm.
and we wanted to hear that story. I told him we were already drinking, and I passed out the night, and I don't remember exactly what you seen and what happened.
Oh, okay. So, it was probably, I want to say, I don't know. What time did you fall asleep? Do you know?
I was with like nighttime, so like 9 maybe.
Yeah, I
won.
think you crashed out
That's what I was
early.
saying. Yeah, I won because I drank the most.
Yeah. Okay, so we were sitting outside. I wanted to smoke a cigarette, so we went outside and we were still drinking. You were like passed out. I don't even know what time it was. I know it was late because there was nobody outside and it was pretty dark. It might have been like a little after midnight, maybe like 1 in the morning. I'm not too sure what time it was, but we were just chilling out there. We weren't even looking for anything or anything like that, and we're just sitting on the porch. And this big hairy thing I don't even know how to explain it because I've seen what they would call Bigfoot or like see images of Bigfoot or videos or movies like that. And I guess it could be described as Bigfoot, but it looked more like a demonic, hairy thing, like a wolf, like a
Didn't you
hybrid of
didn't
like
you say
a.
it had wings?
I don't remember it having wings. Um, it was that's such a long time ago, but
It
I,
was
I
over 20 years ago.
yeah, I know. I'm trying to remember it because we were drinking and we were in mid conversation, and then we just heard like because you know how like the trailers are made, some of the old ones, like those really trailer trash ones, like they're like little tin metal. Remember the neighbor across the street had like one of those little tin metal box ones?
Yeah.
So you could hear like the doo 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 like box metal, and it like jumped from that little scrawny tree thing. I don't even know where it came from. It came from the backyard, but it ran across the roof and then it just jumped down. But it happened so fast that I thought I was the only one that saw it, because I'm like talking in mid sentence to Junior, and I'm just like shocked because I just stopped talking, and then I look at him and I'm like, "Did you just see that?" And he's like, "Yeah, a hairy thing." And then we just immediately booked it. We just ran in the house. We are like freaked out, like didn't want to even go back outside. But I want to say it was probably like at 1 or probably even 2 in the morning. I know it was really late. I just don't remember what time it was, but it happened so fast. I didn't really see where it went, but the way it ran, it was like skittish, like it didn't want us to see it almost.
Oh wow.
So, yeah.
Oh,
But
that's so cool. Yeah, I remember that story differently. I said it was a giant bat.
no, I don't remember it being a bat. Um, yeah, I just remember it being hairy.
Like a demonic werewolf.
Well, yeah, it had like it because it had like I can understand what you mean about a bat though, because it looked like a hairy. It didn't look like Bigfoot. It didn't have like a gorilla face, but it didn't have like a werewolf face either. Yeah, it was like a mix of, I don't even know what it was. I don't even know how to explain it, how it looked. But yeah, it
All right.
just
Well, thank you
yeah.
for telling this story.
All right. Okay, thank you for having me, guys. Okay, bye.
Bye.
So that was the man bat sighting, huh?
Yeah, apparently it wasn't a bat. I'm so glad she came on and told that story because
Yeah.
I was spreading. So you know what? I feel bad. I was spreading false information, and I had my tinfoil hat on, and I can't be doing that when I'm wearing my tinfoil hat.
That's true. That's true. But that's why we brought in straight from the source.
Yep. So demonic werewolf,
A
something scarier than a giant bat.
a supernatural Wookiee, a fallen Chewbacca.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gosh, that's freaky. So my I guess the point I was gonna go to was now bar the supernatural for a moment. Could you think of a plausible explanation for your sighting and hers that excludes the supernatural?
Crackheads.
Okay.
Crackhead that's running by the train tracks, so it might be a hobo, and it had no clothes on, and it was trying to steal my shoes.
That that is a possibility. Maybe
You said without supernatural. That's what I
yeah.
came up with.
It's possible, not probable, but it is possible.
Because I
So
was going over 20 miles an hour. I don't know anyone who can run on all fours, but crack is such a powerful drug. I've seen some weird crackheads do some crazy stuff. So I'm not putting it out of the realm of possibility if it's crackhead.
okay,
Because
well,
Needles did have a lot of crackheads.
yeah, it's a very downtrodden place. So what would be your secondary theory?
Oh, for Christina's sighting, a crackhead in a gorilla costume.
And a gorilla costume.
It was climbing a tree trying to break into the house, and
Okay.
it fell out the tree and landed on the roof. And that's when it seen them and got spooked and was like, "Ooh, they're gonna know who I am in the gorilla costume," and it tried to take off.
I
So
think that's.
crackheads. That's my theory.
Yep. You know what? I think we solved both stories, and we're just gonna boil it down to crackheads, because that makes it
So
less scary.
no, that makes it scarier, dude. A crackhead running on all fours, going 20 miles an hour. That is scary.
That is scary.
Can you imagine a bald, naked
Oh
crackhead
no.
running on all fours in the middle of the night, looking like Gollum, running next to you? That
Oh
is
yeah,
scary.
that scar you. Yeah. Even if it was a human, that's freaky.
I'd rather think it's a supernatural creature, because that's less scary than a crackhead human.
But you know, with the supernatural explanation, uh, you bring in such a deeper level of possibility.
It could be what's known as a rake.
Yeah, so that's interesting because, from my understanding, a lot of people who have encountered, well, let me just say it this way. For me, a rake is any unidentifiable unidentifiable creature. Gosh, I can't say that. That is tall and lanky with pale skin, with long limbs, in a creepy place in the wilderness.
I just looked at rake in like the video. You know what? That looks similar, dude, to what I seen.
I know it does, like what you described, because I mean, but then people describe skinwalkers looking the same way. So is it of a regional thing? Do you think that maybe it's just the same creature,
Well,
but different cultures have different interpretations of it?
well, I have a friend that we've had many heated discussions, and skinwalkers, they have multiple different legends and different people telling the story of them and different tribes. And people who are non-native, they hear the story and they anything supernatural in the woods is automatically a skinwalker to them.
Yeah.
Because he was saying a wendigo and a skinwalker are the same thing, and they are not. A wendigo is a spirit that takes over you after you're lost in the woods and you resort to cannibalism. That's what a wendigo is. It's a curse that falls on a person that turns them into a wendigo because they ate human meat. And a skinwalker is a medicine man who's fallen into dark magic and did taboo magic. And normally they get their powers by killing family
Someone they
members, a
love.
loved one. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my understanding, right? That a skinwalker's a human that just I
Medicine man.
don't yeah, I don't know the process by which this medicine man uh turns into a rake looking creature. But when people say they see rakes or wendigos, I don't think skinwalker, because to me, like you said, skinwalker's a completely different thing. That's a Navajo medicine man that just shapeshifts or what? I have no idea. That's an entirely different rabbit hole on the possibility of a person being uh
Yeah,
whatever. I don't know.
animals. That's mostly where they see weird animals that are too big. That's normally what they call a skinwalker. That's more believable because the skinwalkers are known to shift into animals.
Yeah. Which is super crazy. So you said you saw the rake. No, so if someone, a non-Navajo individual, because we are Navajo, for the audience if you don't know,
We're
um,
Navajo and Tewa.
Tewa, Navajo and Tewa. For those who don't come from a native background, if you were to hear my uncle's story, you would assume rake or skinwalker. Those are the two things that come to mind. But for me, I would
Or
have to say a
crackhead.
rake or a crackhead who's just really fast on his all fours. But a rake is something. What is a rake? I don't know. Like, is it
It comes from creepy pasta.
really?
Yeah, that's where that's where the first
Then
rake is brought up.
the term
Yes,
rake, but the sighting knows. Like they just put a name to what's already been observed for many years.
yes,
Okay.
that's basically what I've learned about it. I've never really heard story about naked humanoids running around.
Yeah. Well,
I've heard about Bigfoots. I've heard about werewolves and skinwalkers and wendigos.
yeah.
So that's why it was new to me and it was terrifying at the same time because I've never seen like a
A
naked
rake
bald
thingy.
headed rake creature.
Yeah. Because I've heard stories of the rake, and they're totally different from what I hear of skinwalkers. Because in skinwalker stories I've heard, there's sort of this element of humanity that the skinwalker still possesses, like an intelligence, a sort of, like they're impersonating another human, or they're wearing clothes, they're interacting with technology, things like that. Whereas a rake, the stories I've heard, is like a completely barbaric animal that has no sense of intelligence. Well, obviously intelligence in the fact that it seems like it hunts its prey, but it seems more like an animal, and more of one to like rip you apart and eat you.
Yeah.
Whereas a skinwalker one, the stories I've heard are more or less it being curious, and like having a strange interaction with you, or following you, or trying to lure you away. Whereas everything I've heard about rakes is completely violent and gory.
Well, it also could have been um, extraterrestrial, an alien. That's also a possibility in the realm of supernatural.
Yeah. But then that begs the question, are all cryptids extraterrestrials?
There is a theory of Bigfoots that they believe that they're interdimensional entities, and
Okay.
that's why you can't find them is because they step in and out of our dimension.
That's an interesting theory.
Yeah,
And
I don't know whose theory that is, but I heard that before.
yeah. Well, there might be some credence. Okay, so I know this is going to sound crazy, what I'm about to say. And just I'm not saying this is my view. I'm just submitting it to you for brain matter. Okay. Uh, there may be credence to that argument in regards to interdimensional travel, or teleportation like that. I'm sure you're familiar with Skinwalker Ranch, right?
Yes.
It's anyone who knows about Skinwalkers is because, oh, they heard it from Skinwalker Ranch. Like that's
Yeah, that's
the
1996.
yeah, that's like when Skinwalker was brought into pop culture, really, where it became really well known. Um, Gosh, I lost my point. Oh. So the thing is that on that farm, is it in Utah, right?
Yes, Utah.
So on that farm in Utah, they had observed different. Is it hydroglyphs or petroglyphs? The ones that are carved into rock.
Those are petroglyphs.
Petroglyphs. So they observed petroglyphs of portals on that ranch, old Native American petroglyphs, and sort of like doorways that were cut out of the stone that the Native Americans say the skinwalkers use as portals to travel back and forth from their hunting grounds. And there is supposed portals observed on Skinwalker Ranch. Whether they're portals or not, we don't know. But the fact is, they are there as far as this door-looking outcrop with petroglyphs on it. They do exist there, but whether or not they're portals remains to be seen. But what I find interesting is that on the Hopi Res, where our grandma lives, where we visit every year, stay out there, is surrounded by Navajo land. So it's all Navajo land out there, all Navajo reservation. And there's a particular place there, the sheep camp, where we have had many, many stories in the family of supernatural encounters, sightings, what have you, you name it, it happened. And what I find interesting is that it's kind of a hot spot for that kind of stuff. And
Oh,
if you go
yeah.
hiking, oh gosh, what? So, do you remember when we went that one year with Uncle Ozzy to carve our names in the rock, our initials?
Yes. Yep.
So I headed that direction, there is a massive boulder. You remember it with the petroglyphs in it,
Yes.
and it has what looks like to be a portal because it's spirals. Like it's like a spiral carved into the stone. Now, immediately when I seen it, my mind went, "Oh, that's a galaxy." But then my brain told me, these people don't have telescopes. They don't know what a galaxy looks like.
Oh no, that's not true.
It's
That's
not?
not true. Nope, that's not true at all. The ancient people, dude, knew more about the stars than we do now.
Okay, so how would you say they could possibly get the idea that a galaxy is shaped in a spiral form?
Well, um, have have you been into an area where there's no light pollution at nighttime?
Yes. Yes.
And have you ever looked up at the Milky Way and it looked like clouds in the sky?
Yes.
Yeah, there. If you look strong enough, you can actually see galaxies.
I've never seen that though. Like I've never. The only place I've ever observed a galaxy being in a spiral form is like from satellite imagery of like seeing it on like a map in my school or something like that. Like, but other than that, in nature, because I've been in some places where there's no light pollution whatsoever, and you could see the Milky Way. Like it's beautiful, and yet I've never observed it being in my head. Oh, it's shaped like a spiral donut cone thingy.
Yeah, they said the Andromeda galaxy you can see with your naked eye.
Really? Well, yeah, but it looks like a star though.
Well, it does, but it also you could see the spiral of it.
I don't know. Let me look this up. Can I observe the shape of a galaxy
So I went easier and I put, can we see galaxies with our eyes?
with my? Well, of course you can.
That's the easiest way to say it. And it
Well,
said yes, we can see the few galaxies with your naked eye under very dark and clear conditions.
yeah, you could see
Notably the
the.
Andromeda galaxy, and they show a picture of the Andromeda galaxy.
Yeah, but I'm seeing here that you see it as a faint, elongated smudge. It says you can't generally see the detailed shape of a galaxy with your naked eye. It appears as a faint, fuzzy smudge. But you
Okay.
can see the Andromeda as a dim oval under very dark skies.
hmm But you're forgetting now. Remember, this is our tinfoil hat.
Okay?
The ancient people, they all have similar carvings and stuff on rocks of people carrying bags, little tote bags.
Okay.
There is a theory that all the people back in day used to share knowledge, and that they were able to go up high into the atmosphere, maybe even space travel.
Okay, so now we're getting to ancient aliens.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of I don't disagree with you there. There is a lot of crazy technology that we don't have anymore.
Yeah, there's
that-
ancient, like the Anunnaki. There's stone melting stuff. Like there's literal proof of technology we don't have anymore
Yeah.
that we don't know how they did stuff.
The pyramids for one. That's the most
Yes.
obvious.
Also, like how they're able to cut stone and Machu Picchu.
Yeah. Oh, that's insane. So you know that the theory is, I can't remember which historian. It was a Persian historian who, gosh, was it Herodotus? I don't quote me on that. I think it was Herodotus. I don't remember which Persian historian this was, but one of these Persian historians has a record of him observing the pyramids being built. I can't remember if he was in a Persian guy, 'cause I don't know if Persia existed at the time, but it was a historian from that region. Or I might be hacking it up. Maybe he went to visit Egypt and he observed this knowledge. I don't know. Fact check me on the years. Long story short, there is an ancient record of someone observing the pyramids being built, And in their record, what they describe is what we know to be acoustic levitation. He was saying that the Egyptians were using these rods to strike a certain stone and that it would vibrate and would make the massive stones that they were using for the pyramids hover. And they would just push it like it was a feather. And it was the guy in the historical account says it was magic or whatever, as you would assume if you're from that time. But scientists and people now are thinking maybe what this man was describing was some sort of ancient technology of acoustic levitation that we haven't discovered yet. Because as far as I know,
Okay, well, hold on. First, let me stop you right there. What is this acoustic levitation you're talking about? You're making it sound like this is everyday knowledge. This is
Oh.
like I've never heard of acoustic levitation.
you've never heard of acoustic levitation?
No.
Okay, so acoustic levitation is when you use sound waves and vibrations to cause a particle of matter to hover above the ground. It's a levitate.
So are you vibrating the stone, or are you just
Yes.
vibrating the air?
The stone, the air. So think of it like this. So if I got a massive Bose speaker,
Mhm.
a really big speaker, and I got something super tiny, like a tiny little drop of water that I squeezed out from a hypodermic needle, like very tiny,
Mhm.
and I put another really loud speaker above it and had them
Oh,
both
okay,
playing
okay.
the same tone,
Mm-hmm.
I could cause that water to hover in air because it's suspended between the acoustic waves of
Yes.
those speakers.
I know what you're talking about. I remember this now. It's the sound waves. It's where they actually intersect, and it falls between the gap between those
Yes.
two sound waves, and
Uh-huh.
it stays there stationary in between the two patterns of sound waves coming from both
Yeah.
directions.
And so as far as our technology has allowed us, I don't think we can levitate anything bigger than a penny. I don't know. I remember the last time I had looked into acoustic levitation, I think that was as far as we got. At something small like a drop of water. So the idea that you could use acoustic levitation to do something like the pyramids is insane. But that's just a theory. So
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about music stones.
I don't know. They could possibly be.
These are basically rocks or giant boulders, and they kind of resonate like a bell. You'll hit them and it'll go ding. They'll have like a metal sound. They're famously known as ringing rocks in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
There's also music stones of Skiddaw.
Okay, what are the music stones of Skittle? Because that sounds very familiar. Is that like you hit it and it reverberates at a certain hertz? That's a musical tone, or
Yeah, it rings like a bell. It's a rock that sounds like a piano basically.
Oh,
It's a bunch
wow.
of stone slabs that kind of like a piano,
yeah,
but you're playing stones that ring,
yeah.
that give off a chime sound.
So, I mean, that tells you right there that it is possible to make a stone. You know, not a piece of metal. Well, maybe the rock has metal in it, but a stone nonetheless can make a frequency when you hit it.
Yeah, but back to what you originally started at. Those are called stargates.
Stargates, okay.
That's what they're known as in the mesas.
Yeah.
They're known as stargates.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. So, yeah, and there was another one. Is it in Keams Canyon, I believe? But there's like this outcrop, like this. I mean, it could just be geology taking place or whatever. But like, there's
I think
just,
it's all that whole area, like Grand Canyon, all that stuff. Anywhere where there's mesas and stuff, they're just known as stargates.
yeah, it's weird. Like it's because I remember there's this one place in Keams Canyon. It's a very suspiciously perfect rectangle carved out of the side of the mesa. Like it's crazy, and you look at it, you're like, that looks like a doorway, but you kind of say, well, it's just rocks and erosion, but it's like, I don't know.
Dude, that is a rabbit hole right there, dude. If you look up Stargate locations,
Why? Let me.
there's
Are-
Sedona, Arizona. There's the Hayumarcu, Peru. Oh,
Oh
there's three
my.
of them. Yeah, and then there's one in Lake Michigan.
Oh, no way, no way. Okay, so Lake Michigan. Have you ever heard of the Lake Michigan Triangle?
No, never heard of a lake having a triangle.
Yes, the Lake Michigan Triangle. There's only one place on Earth that can rival the Bermuda Triangle in missing ships and unexplainable encounters and unexplainable mysteries as far as oceanographic tales are concerned. And that is a body of water that is between 3 points in Lake Michigan. It is second only to the Bermuda Triangle, and it is called the Lake Michigan Triangle.
Is it between Manitowoc,
I am not
Ludington,
sure.
and
I know
Benton Harbor,
I know it's between Michigan and
Wisconsin?
Wisconsin, and it's Wisconsin and
And 2 points in
two
Michigan.
yeah, two random areas. But anyways, it's that body of water in there. And there are stories of so Lake Michigan it didn't always used to be there. It used to be dry land. And there's actually a Stonehenge at the bottom of Lake Michigan. They don't know how it was made. They know it was there before Lake Michigan was a lake, and that it was built by whatever indigenous tribes had lived there before it was a lake. We're talking thousands of years ago. And some people claim that this Stonehenge is the reason why all these ships go missing, all these unexplained sightings and encounters and missing people and what have you.
So they're
But
saying Lake Michigan wasn't a real lake thousands of years ago.
no, yeah, it used to be dry land.
You know what? That is cool because California used to have a giant lake like that too. It's actually the largest lake in the United States.
Yeah, until we ruined it.
Yep. The whole central part of California was a giant lake. So if that we can make disappear, I don't see why they could add another lake that
Yeah.
giant.
Well, it was I don't know if it was man-made. It wasn't man-made. It was just the process of time, I think, whatever. But the fact that you said there's Stargate Lake Michigan is insane. What does it say about it?
What?
The Stargate in Michigan.
Oh, I don't know. I was clicking on other stuff and I lost that page.
Because that's insane.
Yeah, it's a whole nother rabbit hole, dude. We are not, our tinfoil hats are on, but we were talking about Native American
Cryptids.
stuff.
That's
Yeah,
right.
cryptids.
That's right. Okay, we'll get into that in another episode.
That's another tangent. We'll come back to it
Stargates.
when we know some more.
Okay, that's our deep tinfoil hat time.
Deep tinfoil theory time.
Yeah, that's like double layered tinfoil.
Yeah, that's double decker taco status right there.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, back to the fact that my whole point was that you go to these hot spots for these crazy skinwalker encounters or what have you, and there's always this sort of weird ancient Native American marker that's like really big etched in stone that you can't explain.
Yeah,
And so the idea that there's portals is just interesting.
we find pottery all the time out there in the wash.
Yeah.
The last time we went, I actually found an arrowhead, which let me see if I have right here. I think it's right here. Yeah, it's right here in my hand. I got an arrowhead. It's about 1.5 inches long by 3/4 inch. 3/4 inch wide.
Yeah.
So about 4 centimeters by 5 millimeters. Yeah, but we find pottery and all that stuff out there. Anytime we go hiking by the wash after it rains, you find like a bunch of old pottery that has like cool spiral designs, colors like black, red. I think I even have a pottery shard right here in front of me too. Let me see.
Yeah, you
Same
even
little
find
box.
fossils out there.
Yeah, look, I'm holding right here in my hand. Hold on.
Oh yeah.
Sounds again. This is a pottery shard. I'm gonna scratch with my nail.
There's gonna be some relaxing piano in the back to soothe you to sleep. What you think about rakes and skinwalkers and creepy crackheads running next to you in the desert.
Also, as you listen to the mouth sounds. Very soothing. Okay. But yeah,
Yeah, arrowheads.
arrowheads and potteries. Yeah, there's a lot of ancient. I say ancient, but it's technically ancient.
It's ancient.
It's ancient to us. To you guys say like your generation and Generation Z, like my generation's ancient.
Yeah,
So-
this is like pre-Civil War stuff. Like probably pre-colonial stuff, honestly,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah, it's real old, and some Native Americans out there actually want to say it's the Anunnaki.
Which
There's-
those are the ancient race of giants, right?
No, the Star people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what they believe used the Stargates or the Star people, the Anunnaki.
Oh.
But back to
scary story time. So,
So, I have a story on the Skinwalker. Well, it's not. It is It's I didn't see a Skinwalker, but we seen the evidence of a Skinwalker, if that makes
Okay.
sense.
well, I seen a skinwalker because it could have been a rake, but I'd like to say that it was. But you go ahead first, and then I'll go ahead with mine.
Okay, so this is back when I was between the ages of 8 and 10. So this is around the age of Jenny's age. So around 8 to 10. And
Okay.
what I remember is we went hiking. So it was the day before Thanksgiving. Back in 99, 98, 99, I want to
Oh
say.
wow, this is a long time ago.
Yeah, so it was 98 or 99, and it was the day before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
We went hiking, so it was your grandma, which is my mom, your dad, your
Yeah.
Thea, and our cousin Ricky. And the 5 of us went hiking up this mesa. And we went walking up there, and we were just farting around. We had a little dog at the time, and we called him Max. It wasn't the original Max, like the best dog in the world that's ever existed, Max, but it was another Max. And we had him, and we were walking, and he was crying the whole time on top of that mesa. And we could not figure out why he was whining. And it was kind of like annoying. We
Yeah.
see this giant boulder in the dirt, and it kind of have like a natural like roof to it, so it could block like a little den for an animal. So we're walking along, just seeing what we could see, looking for geodes, and the dog starts crying and runs over there, and it's crying the whole time. It's
good sign.
just crying, digging under that rock. And we're like, "What are you doing? Like, come on, let's go!" And it didn't want to stop, and it kept digging, and it unearthed a little pestle and grinder. Yeah, like a stone.
Sir.
A stone-
Sir.
Yeah, a stone, pestle, and grinder, and bones. And we're like, what the heck? Like, what is this? My mom, like, your grandma was like, don't touch that. She's like, whatever you do, do not touch that. She says, kick some dirt back on it, let's get out of here. So we start walking. My cousin's like, oh, that's a skinwalker den. So we start walking away, trying to find a way back down the mesa.
Yeah.
And we come across these giant dog prints. And what I remember is they were about, what's a good size to reference? Oh, you know the size of a 2 liter, how wide the circumference of a 2 liter is?
Yes, that's your favorite unit of measurement.
Yeah, in this episode, it was that wide of a dog print.
Okay.
So it was that wide, but it
So
was
2
longer.
liters wide and a meter high.
Yeah, it was it was 2 liters, not meters. It was
Yeah.
a 2 liter wide. Basically, it was
What? Yeah, 2 liters.
no, they're liters, not meters.
No. I said I know. Oh, I thought. Never mind.
Yeah, liters is American measurement still.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's about 4 or 5 inches wide, and about like 6 inches long. Big old dog prints. What was weird is there was only 2 of them, and it looked like the steps of someone walking.
Whoa, wait. So it wasn't like an actual four-legged dog. It was like a biped?
Yes, because we had a dog with us, and so this is November, and it snowed that day.
Yeah.
So no, it didn't snow. That was another time. But it was like we could see dog prints. Or we could see our dog's steps. The
Yeah.
other little paw would sit next to the when it's walking. You could see it sets two sets as it walks normal. And this one was only one every like a good stride away because my cousin, who was like the tallest of us at the time, maybe like the size your Thea is now, like 5'7",
Yeah.
around that size. So he had like a decent, you know, that's short now that I think about it, but he was, he was still young. He was just a kid. And he was stepping and he had to do like really like kind of like exaggerated steps to match it. And so we're walking and then there's a pause, like a little gap, maybe about 6 feet, and the dog prints disappear. And we're like,
Oh.
whoa, like where'd they go? We're looking around, we can't see them. Maybe 6 feet ahead, you just see like two boot prints, and there's no other footprints around, but just two boot prints.
Yeah. Wait, didn't you guys see that the morning after though?
No, the morning
you
after something else happened.
Yeah, you seen this before.
We seen this on top of the mesa after we
Oh,
found
snap.
the mortar and pestle.
Yeah.
So it's a big like 6 foot gap, and then there's 2 feet prints, like boot prints, like work boots,
Yeah.
and then it turns into regular human steps, like boot prints, and it walks down to a factory.
Whoa.
And then my cousin screams, "It's a skinwalker!" And we all just start running.
Oh gosh.
So we all run and we get home back to my grandma's house on the Hopi reservation. And we tell the story what we found, and everyone's like, "Yeah, you guys shouldn't have messed with that metal mortar and pestle." And we're like, we tried not to. The dumb dog started digging in there. So later on that night, my mom is doing dishes, and she sees something like every house is like maybe a couple 100 yards away from another house. Like they're really spaced out at night.
Yeah.
You know, you've been there. But for our audiences, the houses aren't like next door like they are in America.
No.
Like normal everyday houses right next to each other with a little yard and a gate. No, these houses are spaced out a couple 100 yards from each other. So there's
You
a
gotta
lot of
drive to see your neighbor.
yeah, there's a lot of dark patches between houses. And so when you look out the window, when you're at nighttime, it's like a mirror. You look at yourself and it's just black. And then you can see the lights on the mesa behind them. So your grandma was doing dishes and she said she seen something out of the side of her eye at the window. So she looked up and something ducked out of her view. She tried to like follow it by looking in the window, but she said all she could see is her reflection. So something followed us back home that night.
Yeah.
And so it was the night before Thanksgiving, and there was a lot of us. There was our Uncle Steve, our Uncle Ozzy, our Tia Bernadette, our Tia Sonia, our family, and all their kids. So there was a full house of people, where people were sleeping in the living room and everything. Like we're maxed out in that place. So, my grandma was praying that night. She's the only, like, she prayed over the house and stuff and locked it all up. And we went to bed. We woke up the next morning. Every person in that house except my grandma was throwing up sick.
Wow.
Yeah, and
Now, was Grandma the only one saved at the time?
no,
Oh wow.
I think, oh, you know what? She might have been.
Yeah.
She might have been the only one saved at that time.
Wow.
Yeah,
And for
and
those of you who don't know what that term means, that simply means being a Christian. I know that's a very Christian term. People are like, what does it mean? Are you saved? It means if you're a Christian.
yeah,
Anyways,
she
go
was
ahead.
a follower of Jesus, born again, filled with the Holy Ghost, and yeah, she was the only one at that time. I believe she was the one that was saved. So she prayed over the house, and she
Yeah.
prayed, and she's the only one that didn't get sick. So on Thanksgiving Day, we're all throwing up, and
Oh,
there's
gosh.
stories of skinwalkers that are known to like go to the windows, like any cracked window, and blow in bone
Yeah.
dust, and that would normally kill people.
Yeah. Now, which is crazy because I know Dad tells a story of when he woke up. I think it was that same house where he woke up and seen like the skull in front of his face, like that weird skull shadow thing, and that it freaked him out. So he woke up and he said that the window was cracked open and that he could hear footsteps crunching in the snow. You know, like the.
Yeah.
And he said he could hear it, something walking up to the window, and he said he could hear what sounded like a bunch of jewelry clanking together. And he said that it stopped right outside his window, and that it was just dead silence. You know how dead quiet the res gets. I mean, it's deafening silence, like not a cricket, not a gust of wind, nothing. Like it's like you can hear the static in your brain quiet. And
You lay there, you can hear your heartbeat.
yeah, it's freaky. Like, I can't do it because I'm like, oh, like I got to have sound when I'm out there. And then he said he heard footsteps walking away. And I think there was more to that story, but I think I would get it confused with the footsteps and the dog tracks and the boot prints
Yeah,
or whatever.
there was snow because that's the same time because I remember now that it was snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I wasn't sure if it was snow or dirt, but it was snow. That's how we were able to see the print so detailed.
Yeah.
Now, you said you seen a skinwalker out there?
Yeah. So this was, oh gosh, how many years ago was this? Let me see. This is like 2016, so it's about 10 years ago. This is about 10 years ago, 9 or 10 years ago. We were out on the res, on the Hopi res. It was October because I remember it was October baseball. We were watching the playoffs that night. And it was me, you, Uncle Ozzy, and Dad. And everyone else was in bed already. And Grandpa Larry. And we were in the living room watching October baseball. And so the house, for our audience, it's shaped like an L. The way it's built. And on the little leg of the L, there is 3 rooms. And on the big leg of the L, that's the living room, the kitchen, another room, and the rest of the house. But the room I was staying in was on the little L, on the very tip of the little L, the little leg of the L. And there was a big window there that I had to sleep by because I was sleeping with my grandparents, and they like to sleep with the window open because it was hot or whatever, I don't know. But anyways, I'm sitting on Grandma's recliner. You know the one I'm talking about, Uncle Poe.
Yeah.
And it's looking out the living room window. There's a window behind me where the dining table is, where we play board games and all that. Then there's the window in front of me on the porch. And they have little blinds, but the blinds weren't drawn. All they had was the thin linen white curtains that she has right there.
Yeah.
So you could still see outside, but it just hazed because it was very thin white silk or whatever. So you could still see up there because the porch light was on. So I could see the front porch and the whole front of the house and front part of the yard. And we're sitting there watching baseball. And out of my peripheral, I see what looks to be a pale, tall, naked, weird humanoid thing looking at me from behind the little leg of the L, like leaning out from behind the wall, looking at me. And I remember I didn't see all that with my peripheral. I seen like his apparition. It's when I turned and looked at it that I seen that. You ever play hide and seek or something like that, and like you're poking around the side of a wall looking to see if someone's coming or whatever, or just
Yes.
in any situation where you're peeking around the corner of a wall.
Or just the top part of your body is peeking outside the wall.
Yeah, I could see like from its waist up, but its legs were like hidden behind the part of the wall. It was like leaning forward, like leaning out, and it was looking at me. And I remember seeing it and immediately looking away because I'm freaked out. I think at this point I had already heard a lot of the stories of the reservation, and so I kind of already knew what the deal was. And I don't know if it was because I was so young that I was very impressionable to those kind of things. Because you know how they say kids have a lot more, they're more susceptible, I guess, to these supernatural or weird experiences.
Yeah, they could see more into the supernatural realm.
Yeah, or something like that, or whatever. But anyways, yeah, I remember seeing it. Look at me. I don't remember seeing any facial features on it, because again, it was hazed because of the linen uh, sheet. But as far as what I could make out, I've seen pictures of a rake, or what a rake should look like, and that's what it looks like. It looked like Golem but tall. It wasn't short and tiny. It was tall, like human size. Like it wasn't like 8 feet tall. It was like more like 6 foot tall, like just a really tall dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, completely naked, had no clothes on, but was eerily skinny and eerily pale and white. And yeah, I didn't tell anyone, so we're sitting there. So you guys are oblivious to it, and we go to sleep that night. And the wall that it was hiding behind is the wall that window was on. So I mean, if it wanted to, it could have climbed in through the window and been waiting in the closet for me. So I know that window's open, and I know I have to sleep by it. So that was that night where I was freaking out that something was watching me, and then y'all had to come like and pray for me. I don't know if you remember that year, but that's why I was so freaked out, was because I knew what I had seen just an hour before on the couch, and I knew that whatever's out there could easily climb into this window because it's a big window. Like it's not like a tiny window. Like, oh, we're gonna leave the window open. It's like, no, this is a big window with no screen. Like,
No, they
I,
have a screen on it.
no, it didn't have a screen.
Yeah, it does.
It did not have a screen. I tell you, I wouldn't have been as freaked out if it had a screen. It was the fact it did not have a screen that freaked me out even more.
You know what? Yeah, you're right. Because that's the reason I closed it that night. Because me and your Thea stood in that room when we visited one time, and I
Yeah.
closed that window because it didn't have a screen. You're right.
So I've never stayed in that room again. I've always stayed in the other room.
The other room's
Even
scarier though.
Well, yeah, I know it has the Kachina dolls, but I don't find it scarier because there's so much noise in there. Like I'm fine. Like I've never had a creepy experience in that room. To me, I just always knock out in there.
Same. The little Kachina dolls are the only thing that's in there, but yeah, that room is oddly relaxing.
It is, and I kind of ignore the Kachina dolls. I'm like, you know what? It's just wood. I'm sure that when was it? Who made those? Uncle Larry or
No,
who?
no, no. So
Uncle
it's your great grandma's oldest brother, Johnny.
Johnny.
His
Okay.
actual name was Taft.
Oh
Taft.
yeah, he was named after Grandpa, huh?
Yep.
So yeah. So I always thought like, well, I'm sure Uncle Taft like didn't dedicate these to Satan and wish his ancestral spirits would inhabit these Kachina dolls or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe he did, but yeah, I just kind of chose to ignore them, and I always fell asleep in that room.
For our audience who don't know what a Kachina doll is, Kachina dolls are part of the Tewa and Hopi kind of like culture. They're little figurines. They stand about a foot tall, about the size of a 2 liter. I did that for you, yo. So they stand about like
He's not wrong. They actually are.
they stand about that tall, and they're usually like decorated in a dance pattern, like someone dancing that you see at a powwow. And a powwow is what everyone has to know what a powwow is. But if you don't know what a
Yeah.
powwow is, it's basically where all the Native Americans, when they come together and they start doing music and start dancing to a drum beat, and they dress with all the feathers and start dancing in their traditional dances. Well, if you see the picture of like the Native American doing a dance like that in a pose, that's what these dolls are kind of like. They're carved into. They're wearing full regalia, and they're usually wearing a mask of like a helmet kind of mask of one of the deities of the Hopis.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so those carvings are men wearing costumes, dressed up as the deities.
Yeah.
That's what a Kachina doll is, and
I
they
didn't know
sell
that.
for like hundreds of dollars,
Oh yeah. White people
hundreds to
spend
thousands. Yeah,
an incredible amount of money on this. Yeah, there's tell them about the one that they say like walks around.
Oh, there's one that so we one day we went around to like all the little shops and like gift shops, and I was just me, my sister, and my Uncle Ozzy were going around, and we were talking to all the shops, and I was just asking about lore. Oh man, they have some cool stories. There's like the Mouse Warrior. I'll tell that on another story. The Mouse Warrior is cool, and then they were telling us about all the spirits that you would see, and there's this one spirit. They said if you see that spirit walking around on the res, that means it's the end of the world.
Oh, it was a spirit that you see walking around? I thought it was if you seen the doll walk around, like it would mean
The
the end of
dolls are carvings of men dressed
Oh,
as
okay,
those spirits.
That's right. That's right. So yeah, so if you seen the physical doll
No,
animated
the
but walking around,
no,
or
the
the
physical
spirit,
spirit that the doll is
Oh.
referencing of.
Gotcha.
So whatever they styled that the doll after,
So if it was like an eagle man thing, if you seen an eagle man spirit walking around, then you knew it's the end of the world.
yeah, basically. But it's like a kind of looks like that one DJ Marshmallow Head. It had like a
Yeah.
giant marshmallow head kind of look.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah, dude. Some of those stories that they tell, man, on those of like the lore of the Tewa, Hopi, and Navajo, get crazy. There's like we didn't even touch on the four sacred mountains, the
Four
different
sacred mountains.
yeah, the sacred ages, like the golden age, the silver age, the blue age.
Tell me about this. I don't know. Oh, you mean like the mountains on the Navajo Sill?
Yeah.
Oh,
Those are the four sacred mountains. And then each the cows, those colors are different ages of the age of the Navajo.
Wow.
Yeah, so like the age of realities or something like that.
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude.
You know what's crazy? I don't know how it triggered in my brain, but you just reminded me of something else I seen on the reservation. Now this is more of a more folklore, less of a cryptid, I guess. 'Cause cryptid, I guess you have this creepy vibe to it, like you think
Well,
something scary.
Cryptids are more as like they can be true, but they're in a subject where it might just be folklore, but there's a lot of evidence that it might be true. So it's
Yeah.
in that in between. Folklore is just like they're kind of like stories, like creepypastas.
Okay, yeah, I see that. Okay, so then I'll change it because I seen this. So, I guess cryptid, but it's not a scary one. I guess is what I'm trying to. Well, it could be. It scared me because I freaked out because it was just so. It was creepy to see it. It might not sound creepy to hear, but there's a story of this ghost horse that runs around Keams Canyon, and I guess it's like a really pale, like demonically pale, skinny white horse that is just people just see it. Like I don't know if it does anything. I don't know if it hurts people or what. They just see it. Like it's a known like urban legend that this thing just roams the mesas of that part of the country. And we were driving back from Tuba City. No. It was not Tuba City. It was Gallup. We're coming back from Gallup, and so you know how you come in through the backside of Keams Canyon when you're coming down from Gallup.
Yeah.
We were coming down there, and we passed the Steamboat Butte. But it was right there by the Steamboat Butte, and it was dusk, which I think is like the creepiest time of the day on the res. Is dusk, and
I like dusk.
I didn't like it. Like to me, that's like it's like that ominous feeling. Like okay, now like the crazy stuff's about to start happening. Like just watch yourself. So, anyways, we're driving down, and our headlights are turning, and we flash across this side of the road, and I immediately jump back because all I seen in that split second was white, insanely skinny, and standing ominously. It was the first three things that hit my brain. So I'm like, oh, freak, like that's a skinwalker. And I look back and I'm double taking this thing and I'm getting a good hard look at it. And I realize it's a really creepily skinny horse. Like it is like incredibly malnourished. Like I could see its ribs. Like I could see all its bones. It might as well have been a skeleton horse, but it had the skin on it. It had the tail, and it was just standing there, like just on the side of the road, like not doing anything. Like I could see like its tail moving, like it was moving its tail. Like so, I knew whatever I was seeing was there. It was real. And I remember freaking out, telling Grandma, I'm like, "Did you see that?" And she was like, "No, what is it?" And I was like, You just didn't see that creepy white horse?" And she's like, "No." It's like, "Oh." She's like, "Yeah, they say, yeah." She's like, "Yeah, the people down here say that that's an old urban legend. They say like there's a ghost horse or something like that." And I was like, "Oh wow."
Yeah, I remember that. Because I remember you were in the back seat. When you
Yeah,
said that, and yeah, we were talking, me and your grandma, we were looking at the road.
yeah.
Yeah, I think we were coming from Window Rock or Granado. We were somewhere in that direction. I don't think it was Gallup. I don't think we were coming from Gallup.
No, you're right. We're coming from Canyon de Chelly.
There you go.
That's where it was. And Canyon de Chelly is almost near. It's the same direction as Gallup.
Yeah, it's same that same area.
Yeah, yeah. That was. It didn't freak me out afterward. I was like, oh, it's just a horse. But like in the moment, like I just seen tall, skinny, pale. I'm on the Navajo reservation and it's just standing there. I was like, oh, Skinwalker. And then I double taked for a hard minute, and it was just the ghost horse.
Yeah, it's trippy because the Navajo Nation's actually, it surrounds the Hopi Nation.
Yeah, like a donut.
Yeah, you had to literally go through the Navajo Nation to get to the Hopi Nation, and then
Which
you
sucks.
could go through the Hopi Nation, go back into the Navajo Nation. Yeah, it's only bad if you talk about skinwalkers at nighttime on the Navajo reservation, or
That's
if
the
you're
worst
outside
part of
and you can't whistle at night. So just like in Appalachians, you shouldn't whistle on the res at night.
What?
Hmm.
I've not heard of that. Why?
That's brings in skinwalkers.
Really?
That's what they say.
I never knew that. Did Grandpa Larry say that or Uncle Ozzy? That sounds like an Uncle Ozzy thing.
No, that's res knowledge.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why
What's
you watch. Try to whistle at nighttime on the
No, I'm
res
good.
and see what someone
No,
says to you.
I'll
You'll-
take
you'll-
your word for it.
Yeah, one of our great aunts will smack you in the mouth, tell you not to whistle.
Yeah. No, but what's the deal with the Appalachia? You're not supposed to whistle there either?
No, you're not supposed to whistle at night.
Why?
I have no idea. It's that old. If you didn't see nothing, if you think you hear something, you didn't. It's kind of like that.
Oh.
I don't know. That's something they don't talk about. Just like on the Navajo reservation, they do not
Yeah.
talk about skinwalkers.
Okay, hold on a moment. I'm gonna turn on my lights because I'm getting spazzed out.
He's all whistling.
There we go. There we go. I had to turn on my lights because Jolene has like this bunny thing in her bed, like a big bunny plush, and the light from my computer screen was just lighting it very ominously. I'm like, if that thing turns its head right now, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
Oh.
And we've told scary stories, and now you're gonna have bad dreams.
No, I'll be fine. I don't get bad dreams from this. But oh, so you're talking about Appalachia, about whistling in the night, and you're saying if you think you hear something, you've heard nothing.
No, you
Kinda one
don't.
of
You
those
didn't.
deals?
You don't.
You didn't. You didn't.
No, you don't. That's what they say.
You
You don't. You
You
think you
don't.
hear something? You don't.
Yeah, you don't. And so going back to like the rake and skinwalker thing, rakes are like I said, were like barbaric animals, whereas skinwalkers, I heard a story that they'll call you by name and they'll essentially try to trap you and convince you to like come out and follow them because they'll call your name in the voice of someone you trust.
Oh yeah.
So like
they're mimics.
yeah, so like if I'm in on the res, me and you, and like we get separated, like we're hiking and we wander from each other, and I hear you saying, "Hey Joseph," and I hear, "Oh, that's my Uncle Poe," and I respond to that. I shouldn't, unless I made visual contact, and I know for a fact, okay, where's my uncle at? Where did he go? I know where he's at. I see him. But if I hear someone calling me, or say for instance, me and you are hiking, and I hear my dad calling me, but I know Dad shouldn't be out here. He's probably at the house. then I know, holy cow, that's a skinwalker. Don't answer. And I've heard creepy stories of that, of people hearing their names called, and like the people coming back like, "Hey, did you call me?" Like, "No, I didn't call you," and like them having creepy skinwalker encounters. Have you
Oh,
heard of that?
yep. I've heard of it with people inside their house.
Oh no,
Mm-hmm.
no.
They're home alone, and they'll say, like, "Hey, I'm inside the living room. Come here." And they're like, "Yeah, no, he's at work. I just finished talking to him on the phone. I don't know what that thing is, but that's not my husband."
Oh, that's creepy. Gosh, that's creepy. What you? Ugh. Who told you that?
Oh, that's online, dude. There's a
Yeah.
lot of stories just like that.
Ooh.
There's
Yeah,
also
those ones are
videos
creepy.
where you can actually hear someone calling their name out.
So videos I don't trust as much because it is so easy to just make something up.
Yeah, now it is, but back
But
then
still, that's
it wasn't
that's
that easy.
yeah, no, that's freaky.
Yeah, nowadays
And I,
it's just the AI messed it all up, dude. And now we can't even trust videos no more.
yeah, like, so the reason why like I was so surprised about the Appalachia is because I've been up there. I've been up there at night and I didn't know what this whole whistling thing is. So I don't know what like the urban legends are up there in the Appalachia area. When I was out there, I'll tell you this: there wasn't a single place I went to in that part of the country that gave me the heebies as much as the reservation. Still to this day, I was on the native reservations in Oklahoma in the middle of the night, and that didn't even give me the jeebies like the Navajo Reds did. There's nothing like it. Like I've been in the Appalachians at night, like middle of the woods, and I've not been scared, not had a weird feeling at all.
Well,
But you,
it's because you didn't know about all this stuff.
well, no, like I know like they have like urban legend, or maybe yeah, maybe ignorance is bliss, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I knew enough. Like they see things out here, like Mothman, or like the Louisiana Swamp Man, or like the Mississippi Bushman. Like I know they have weird things that they see out there, but like I never once got like kind of the heebies, like oh again, like this is weird, like ugh, like it feels weird out here. Like
Oh, dude, like
I've always felt safe.
I would not. Your dad. My brother keeps wanting me to go camp outside with him on the reservation.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that is a big no for me,
Yeah.
man.
He
I
keeps asking me to, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, like I take risk, and I'm like I'm not scared. I'll go ghost hunting and other stuff, But I just something about sleeping outside on the res. I can't do.
Yeah, that's like I'm not trying to wake up in the bed of the truck to look and see some skinwalker peeking at me from over the bed. Like I'm good.
Yeah, that's something I'm not down
Yeah.
for.
He told me, oh gosh, he said that if I went with him to sleep on the mesa camp,
Hmm.
that he would go and stay by himself in the old
Sheep camp?
rock house. No, not the sheep camp. The grandma's old house with the two rocks for the walls.
Oh no, dude,
Yeah. He said
no.
that he would sleep there by himself if I went and slept with him on top of the mesa. I was like, nope, I'm good. I'm still not gonna do it.
I took a video and there's an orb that I caught on camera
Yeah, I remember that.
that goes from the floor to the wall to the ceiling, back on the floor, back to the wall. It does a full 360.
Yeah.
So it couldn't be a light source from outside shining in because it goes like back to the wall where the door is.
Yeah.
There's a full circle.
And it couldn't have been like a reflection of your camera or something, because that would be the obvious inference, right? Well, maybe it was just light bouncing off your lens.
Yeah, because
No.
it circles the whole room, 4 different
Yeah.
surfaces.
And your camera's still, your camera's not moving.
Yeah.
So it's like, unless your camera's moving, why should it circle the entire room?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And then you caught the image of that thing peeking out from behind the wall.
yes. And also, that's the same house where the severed hand was crawling down the wall from that glass
Oh, yeah.
window that doesn't open
Mhm.
at your grandma when she was a little kid.
Yeah, it's a fixed plane.
Yep, it's a sheet of glass.
And yet there was a hand crawling behind the curtain.
A severed hand that looked like it was deteriorating, so like a decomposing hand.
Yeah, that's freaky. And she was a kid. I can't imagine what that did to her. Well, I guess it turned out okay.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. So the res, there's some scary stories, and
Yeah.
somehow we got out of our folklore and we went into like just telling
We'll have to
scary
make
stories.
another episode on that because I was gonna say this episode was supposed to be on medieval folklore, but we didn't even touch that.
Oh yeah, no, we stood in like this century
Yeah. Yeah,
or the
I
end of the
wanted to
last
talk about
century.
fairy tales and anti-Semitic fairy tales that the Grimm brothers actually wrote, which is insane. Not that I'm advocating for anti-Semitism, but just the fact that you know the Grimm's fairy tales, right?
The
Like,
Brothers Grimm, yeah.
yeah, Brothers Grimm. They had one called "The Girl Who Was Killed by the Jews." Yeah, like it's insane. Like
I
the
did not
kind
know
of
that.
stories they had. Yeah, that were in their books that they published. But the Grimm's Brothers Grimm's fairy tales, they there's like 7 editions of them. They came out over a few decades, and the original ones were crazy. Like, I'll save most of the details for when we do the episode on that. But like Cinderella, like the story is like crazy.
Oh yeah.
So like, I the sisters
Oh, yeah.
cut their feet
Yeah,
to
yeah.
fit the shoe.
Yeah, don't give it away, man. There's I know some stories on that too.
Yeah,
The-
it's crazy.
They are a lot darker than Disney made them.
A lot darker.
As all those Disney movies are based on the Brothers Grimm
Yeah,
stories.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
It's
yeah, we
insane.
didn't even get to talk about we talked about aliens for a little bit, dude. But we didn't even get to
Oh,
hear
there's so much.
dude, I have stories of actually seeing things that might be aliens. Dude, I've seen ghosts too.
Like, ooh, like linen bedsheet, like pale white drowned child ghost.
No, I seen the legs of somebody.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. And yeah, okay, it's a real short story, but I seen I was on a machine, giant mechanical press, and I had my headphones in, and I was listening to music, and I seen on the side of my eye someone standing to my right, and I'm like, "Oh, this is Ruben. I need to ask him what are we going to do on this what are we running next cuz I'll go grab the material." So
Yeah.
I turn to look at him because I see the legs on my side, like on the other side of the machine. So I turn to the right to go walk around, and I take a step, so I lose the sight of it for like maybe like a split second,
Yeah.
and I walk over there, and there's no one standing there. And I walk around the machine. I'm looking. I'm like, where'd he go? Like he moved quick. Like that guy was gone. I'm
Yeah.
looking around, and then he comes walking from the other side of the building from the restroom. I'm like,
Yeah.
weren't you right over there? And he's like, no. I was like, ooh. And I walked away. I was like, ooh. I was like,
Yeah.
dude. I'm like, I just seen a pair of legs. He's like, where? And it was legit someone standing right next to me. And because I was reading an order, and I was seeing what
Yeah.
he did, and I could see 2 legs standing there, like they're waiting for the material or something, or like they're programming the machine.
Yeah.
And yeah, I walked over there, and there's no one there.
Gosh.
And I was told someone actually died there.
Oh.
Yeah, they got
There's
cut.
others.
They got cut, and they bled out,
Wow.
and they died in that location. That not the location, but that building.
Yeah. Oh wow. So there's actual. Gosh.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
one of the ghost stories that was where it wasn't too spooky, but
Yeah.
I seen something. But yeah, we didn't get to talk about that either. That's another episode, dude.
Yeah. We'll make another one on ghosts and shadow creatures because well, yeah. That's a whole nother episode. I mean,
Aliens,
I've had
ghosts,
my
and shadow
legs
creatures.
picked up before by yeah, I'll leave that for another time.
I
Yeah,
had
my
the
legs
bottom of
picked
my foot high fived, dude. Dead asleep, and someone high fived my foot.
That's freaky.
in my
That's a
room.
short.
In my room with the locked door, dude.
Oh, that's like a short homunculus. Like that's like hiding under your bed kind of deal. That's what's the freakiest ones.
Dude, I could not sleep with my feet out of my blankets for a good minute. Now I don't care. I'm like, my legs are hanging out the bed.
Yeah.
But dude, that one messed me up for a second. I'm not gonna lie. But literally
That
high
is
fived my foot,
freaky.
woke me up out of a dead sleep.
Oh, it's freaky. Ugh.
So watch out for that little rabbit. Make sure it doesn't high five your foot as you sleep
Yeah,
tonight.
no, I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the couch in the living room. Yeah. Oh gosh, that now I'm thinking of the time Dad brought home that Raggedy Ann doll, and freaky
Ooh,
stuff started to happen.
yeah, dude. Oh, or that book I had.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, your Book of the Dead, right?
no, no, it wasn't the Book of the Dead. It was what was it? It was like a book of like supernatural stuff. I don't know. It was a
Oh
weird book I inherited. I don't remember how I got it, but I came across it and I was like, "Oh, I'll take that book because I like supernatural stuff and I wanted to have like a cool book on." This is like before we had computers everywhere
yeah,
and before smartphones, we could search everything. This is when we would go to the library kind of stuff.
yeah.
So I wanted to have a book of my own, start my own library. But I forget what that book was about, but it had a bunch of cryptid stuff in it and some witchcraft stuff in there too, apparently.
Oh snap.
Yeah, so if you know anything, that opens up doors into your house.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
It
we all
does.
know about opening up windows to witchcraft because they blow bone dust in there and you start throwing up before Thanksgiving.
They do. They do, in fact, do that. Yeah, that's a whole nother episode because that's a whole nother level of freaky because that's just not cryptids that you hear about in pop culture. That's like experiences you've had that you know for a fact happened to you.
Yeah.
So it takes up the this fear level a whole nother level because you're like, it happened before, so theoretically, I mean, it could happen again, but as Christians, you have the hope that you're covered by the blood and that it won't happen. But it just makes it more close to home, that you experience that stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, we didn't even talk about your dad seeing Bigfoot.
We did not. Well, the time Grandma seen Bigfoot.
Yeah. Or that one time great grandma um watched that old lady walk up the side of a mesa.
Oh yeah. Gosh, if you guys, for those in the third chair, if you guys haven't been able to tell by now, our family has a very colored history with very interesting stories that I am going to tell my kids to freak them out when they're old enough. I won't do it too young, but we're passing these stories down for generations.
No,
And in a sense,
that's Uncle Poe's job. Just like I did to my brother's kids, I'm gonna do to your
well,
kids.
okay, well, I'm gonna do it to Jolene's kids, and I'm gonna take your place.
Mm-hmm.
But in a sense, isn't that what folklore is? Like it's like history, like and myth and legend being passed down to generations. Now, most of these stories don't have a moral, like a folk tale would, or like a cultural thing. These are just experiences, but they can be turned into some sort of myth and legend. So I guess that's how they start,
Yeah.
like stories like this.
They're just tales told family tales, yeah.
Yeah. So instead of the girl who was killed by the Jews, we're gonna have the girl who was freaked out by the severed hand in the bathtub,
Mm-hmm. Oh man,
and
and
we're gonna sell it.
your grandma has crazy stories too in that same house about
Hmm.
seeing like maybe aliens or Bigfoot.
Orbs, UFOs,
Mm-hmm.
and the stories that freaked me out the most were her stories that she had of the Greys that she would see on the Virginia house.
Dude, that house was crazy. There was a ghost that used to walk the hallway that we called Larry.
Why Larry?
I have no idea. I just remember we called him Larry.
That's freaky when you get to the point where you got a name for your ghost.
Do you know what? I don't remember who named him.
That sounds like a you thing.
I don't know, dude. This was like maybe 5 years old, 4 years old. That
Oh gosh, that's freaky.
Yeah, so remember we were saying kids are more susceptible?
Yeah.
Maybe that was his name. Maybe he really was Larry.
Oh, wasn't it that old guy?
I don't know. I don't want to think about it
Okay,
though. Yeah. Yeah, that's you know how to take my tinfoil hat off. You know what? All right.
okay.
Take my hat off.
Tinfoil hats are off.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the realm of the living.
Yes. that, that was it got scary, dude. This got
It did. I turned my lights on legitimately.
we we might have to put a disclaimer on this one. This was getting a little scary.
I'll put it. We'll do that. We'll put a disclaimer.
Yeah.
Um, gosh, I don't even know what we're gonna title this episode. Well, just the tinfoil hat special,
Yeah. Episode 1.
episode 1. Gosh, man, we went in,
This
and what's crazy is we didn't even go all the way in.
no. And I have more stories to tell too. Like more
We'll
personal
do it when
like,
it's daytime, though.
yeah, more personal stories and we have like how I brought your Thea, my sister, in just to tell one of their stories. That girl has some stories too.
Oh yeah,
And I'm so glad we kept it just folklore and cryptids. Cause like
mm-hmm.
there's some scary stories of supernatural stuff.
That's even scarier. It just-
Dude, demonic possession. That
Oh,
those are scary because just yeah. There's some stories there too.
I've seen. I felt one go by me one time. Like it felt like a cold wind, which that's for another date. That's
Yep.
But yeah,
Our hats are off already.
yeah, our hats are off.
Yeah, so what do we talk about this episode? We talked about space. Oh, the movie Starship Troopers.
Space news.
Space news.
And we put on our tinfoil hats and we talked about
Oh, because the space news. That's why. That's why we went on this weird tangent. Because I had my theory on why the
yes,
astronauts
on
came down.
why they brought them down.
Okay, I was like, we took a turn this time. We like,
We did.
yeah. You know what? That was fun though. I had fun telling these
It
stories. And
was.
it unlocked a lot of memories that are gonna make it hard for me to go to sleep tonight.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna leave the lights on when I sleep tonight, and I'm gonna. But you know what's funny? Because like every time I don't think I've legitimately been spooked by stories like this since it's been a few years.
Yeah, we
Um,
waited till you guys were old enough to spook you.
Yeah, well, no, because about 10 years ago, I was thoroughly spooked by the stories I heard. Um, yeah, I was Jenny's age, and I remember asking grandma stories, and she had no hesitation in enlightening me on the family history.
Dude, like I'm pretty sure our Uncle Ozzy has crazy. Oh, he does have stories on the sheep camp.
Yeah.
You only kind of mentioned it, but there's that whole little area that's across that wash that we go hunting for artifacts.
Yeah,
That's a
that
but
wash is haunted.
dude, there's some stuff there too.
Remember the grave we found? Oh gosh, that's a whole other thing. That grave we found.
You guys found a
And
grave?
yeah, I don't, okay, you weren't there then.
No, I wasn't.
I think it was me and Dad then. We found a grave.
Wow.
And we were like, you know, we're leaving that alone. Like that could be our uncle, that could be our grandpa, because I know a few of our uncles are buried out there.
Yeah, our Uncle
Um,
Tyrone's out there.
Yeah, and so we're like, we're not touching that. But yeah, we found a grave, and then don't forget about Uncle Ozzy being experimented on by aliens that one night, where he woke up with that weird scoop in his leg. Yeah, he got abducted, and they took a flesh sample, and they brought him back. So,
Yeah, yeah.
but anyhow, that's so.
But
How do you
yeah,
want to end it? I don't know how to end it.
hope you guys enjoyed our take on folklore, tinfoil folklore.
Tinfoil folklore. That's the title. Tinfoil folklore. And I guess we'll end it with sweet dreams.
Yeah, remember if you guys are scared, just pray over yourself before you go to bed. Ask God to put a hedge of protection around your minds and your thoughts. And you can always call on Jesus. I've noticed that whenever I was scared in my life, at nighttime, terrified, you call on the name of Jesus and things will flee from you.
Oh yeah, things are choking you out, and you're trying to say something,
that
and you
sleep
say
paralysis,
Jesus.
you can come out
Boom.
of it by just saying Jesus.
Oh, that's a whole nother thing. That sleep paralysis.
That happened to me a couple times where I'm like, Jesus,
Yeah.
Jesus name.
And then you just wake up shouting Jesus, and you
Yeah.
wake yourself up. You're like, Jesus. You're like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
what's going on?
So remember that. Jesus, you can always call on him and he will always answer you and help you out when things get scary.
He is closer than the mention of his name. Now I'm gonna sleep good.
Yeah. So there, we
we
ended
go.
on a good note. Talked about Jesus.
Yep. Amen. Sweet dreams.
Good night,
Spooky,
everybody.
weird music that's gonna start playing right now.
And don't forget about the ASMR sounds.
And you're gonna hear something giving you a wet to sleep. Yes, no sound. It's not gonna be us.
Hopefully you can sleep with the sounds.
Yes, and hopefully you can sleep with your feet hanging out your bed. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
This was the Digestible Podcast with Joseph as your host. So take what you heard and pass on your own point of view. We want to say thank you for being the third chair. This was produced by his Uncle Poe as the sometimes guest. This song should have faded off, but if you're hearing this, Joseph didn't edit it correctly. Let him know you heard this Easter egg.